We are starting off warmer today. Jen, good morning. It's also the first day of winter. It began just about a couple of hours ago, just past 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:02. And what that means for us, we already began winter, meteorologically speaking, but astronomically speaking, in terms of our seasons and the changes that take place through the year, we're only going to have 9 hours and 26 minutes of that daylight, with Earth tilted on its axis in the northern hemisphere away from the sun, which is why we're going to have that shorter amount of daylight. But now days do begin to get longer as we step forward in time, which if you want summer, you want the warmth, that's a nice tidbit of information, right? Temperatures this morning are a good deal warmer than what they were on our Sunday at this time. Over 20 degrees in Lake Ozark, 14 in Branson, now over that in Harrison, Arkansas as well, with readings sitting in the 30s to 40s right now. 50 degrees, the warm spot in Harrison, compared to 47 in Springfield, 45 in Lake Ozark, and 37 degrees in Clinton. Satellite radar showing starry skies. Clouds have worked away from us as high pressure is keeping its hold over the area. All of this is thanks to that system to our north and east, which is a clipper going to bring some snow out toward the Ohio Valley eventually as that dips southeastward. In our wagging and walking forecast, we are saying hello to Sebastian this morning, a little Shih Tzu puppy, one of our neighbors' dogs, actually. So sweet, so friendly. We're back into the upper 50s later on today. Shouldn't have any problems out there. We are tracking an Arctic blast as we close in on Christmas, and of course we'll have that last look at the 7-day talking about Christmas in just a little while, Jen.
All right, TJ, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that. We have some new information for you this morning on a deadly hit-and-run crash in Douglas County over the weekend. Authorities have identified the victim as 73-year-old Julia Hicks of Squires, Missouri. According to the Highway Patrol crash report, Hicks was walking on Highway N about 5 miles southeast of Ava. An unknown vehicle struck Hicks, killing her, and then left the scene. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office and Highway Patrol are looking for the driver involved in this incident. And some healthcare providers in Webster County are teaming up today to offer anyone, no matter where they live, a free COVID-19 nasal swab test. The testing will be done drive-through style at the Webster County Fairgrounds in Marshfield. You don't need symptoms or a doctor's order for this testing. This is happening from 9 until 11 a.m. and no appointment is needed. And beginning next week, CVS Health will begin giving COVID-19 vaccines to residents at more than 600 long-term care facilities in Missouri. CVS was selected by the Department of Health and Human Services to be one of 2 providers to give the vaccinations. CVS expects to have vaccines available to the general public in 2021. And here's a local spotlight for you. A local motorcycle club is making Christmas a reality for kids in the area. Bad Cruisin' Crew has helped 4 families this year so far. They buy and wrap the gifts and deliver them to the families. They always get the children toys, but if there is a specific need on parents' list, such as coats or shoes, the group provides those as well. Mandy Weaver, a member of the motorcycle group, said the gifts are tailored specifically for each family and kid.
We actually get a list from the parents of the children's sizes, any specific needs for clothing, shoes, coats, and we also get their likes on what kind of toys they like, their age, of course, their favorite color.
The group raises money through a fundraiser called Easter Keg Hunt, which happens in April. Keeping crime in focus now, the man charged in a fatal crash last year in Springfield is scheduled for a court hearing today. Andrew Lynch is charged with 8 felonies, including 3 counts of second-degree murder. In August of 2019, Lynch was allegedly the driver of a vehicle that caused an accident and killed 3 people. This happened as police were chasing and attempting to stop the vehicle for nearly half an hour. And we have a follow-up on a road rage incident in Ozark. A Rogersville man has been arrested in connection to a road rage shooting incident originally reported on December 16th. Police say Blake Donig has been charged with first-degree assault, armed criminal action, and first-degree property damage. Donig is being held at the Christian County Jail without bond. In news from around the region, an investigation is underway after firefighters found a man dead inside his South Kansas City home. The fire broke out in the morning hours of Sunday. Neighbors raced to save the man who was trapped inside the burning home, but it was too late. Neighbors describe him as a nice guy and are upset this happened right before the holidays.
Really will be missed for about me, you know, because like I said, I'm going to miss him sticking his head out the door and say, hey, you know, flagging me down, or his text messages coming through my phone.
Investigators are still trying to determine the cause of the fire. The victim's name has not been released. In some news from around the world, 8 civilians were killed and 15 others injured in a blast in Afghanistan. Women and children were among the victims. Without blaming any particular group for the explosion, officials say terrorists and the enemies of Afghanistan were behind this attack. In more local news for you now, if you're at Bass Pro sometime this week and drop some money in a Salvation Army red kettle, Bass Pro will be matching that up to $20,000. Red kettles will be stationed outside Bass Pro's main door, the south door, and the catalog store through 2 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Currently, the Salvation Army has reached 67% of its 2020 red kettle goal. We have a couple of traffic alerts for you this morning. A portion of Route JJ in Taney County will be closed during the day for the next few weeks. The road will be closed between Route J and the Missouri state line south of Carbyville every day until January 15th from 8 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Crews will be replacing multiple deteriorating drain pipes underneath the road there. And Kimbrough Avenue will close to traffic between Bennett Street and Catalpa Street from 7 this morning until 6 tonight for utility work. Following the closure, a temporary plate will be in place at the intersection of Kimbrough Avenue and Meadowmere Street until roadway repairs can be conducted. Detours will be posted utilizing Bennett Street, Clay Avenue, and Catalpa Street. Now here's a look at what's coming up after daybreak.
Coming up, Congress has finally approved a coronavirus relief bill. The latest details on when Americans can expect their stimulus checks. Plus, why a meeting in the sky tonight could have a connection to Christmas. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, trending today, lots going on, TJ. It is the shortest day of the year. Astronomical winter begins, and if we look up at the sky around 6, maybe 5 p.m. our time, we see what is being called the Great Conjunction.
Yes.
Which is planets lining up, as I understand it.
It is, yes, it really is. Yeah, it's really cool. So Saturn and Jupiter are going to be the closest they've been since 1623, Jen, and that's going to allow for us to almost see this really bright, and as we just talked about on CBS this morning, this Christmas star, but it really is just Saturn and Jupiter, the largest planets in the solar system, coming together to form this conjunction, and something that really will probably happen only once in our lifetime.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is true. In our lifetime and maybe our kids' lifetime, it's really something really cool to see. But talking about our weather back here at home,
you know, I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna walk off if I have enough time and change these graphics.
Are these wrong?
These are. I was in the process of updating these, and I'll get our actual 7-day up here that has been fully updated and that I've been talking about.
You can still hear
all morning long.
You're still here. Just walked off camera.
Yeah. We're talking about a big warm up, but a big cool down heading into Christmas Eve, Jen.
There it is. So a warm up today and tomorrow. Hey, but the sun is out. And then on Christmas, even though it'll be cold, as long as we have the sunshine, TJ, I'm okay with that. It's easier to deal with the cold temperatures that way.
I feel like that's the same thing, yeah. And the good news, talking about the Great Conjunction, we're going to have clear sky tonight, so we shouldn't have any issues viewing that. So that's going to be one big headline, of course, across the world if you can get a good view of this. You only have about 2 hours to do it, though. Once the sun does set, you'll have about 2 hours before it gets below the horizon. But we'll have it actually not only today, but through the next few nights. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's great news. Yeah, and good news that we don't have any clouds tonight, so we can look up and see that. All right, thank you, TJ. Thanks for joining us here in Daybreak. Look at that beautiful sunrise. We'll see you for more local news at midday.